Hi, everyone, and welcome to the ReWilding virtual retreat. I'm Jenner Linden, your hostess, and I'm joined today by Kara Michelle. She is a holistic life coach, Reiki master, meditation and mindfulness teacher who is here to help women create a new story and conquer their mental, physical, spiritual, and financial game. After losing her brother, being sexually assaulted, and having a traumatic car accident, Kara spent the last 8 years traveling the world and working with coaches and mentors, learning from how to go from pain to purpose. Welcome, Kara.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you here. And what I love about your bio is you just wear your past trauma as like a badge of honor. You're like, here's my shit. This is what I've been through. This is what I did.
Yeah.
And now I want to help you. And it's just like, it gives me chills. I love that you do that. So it's very, very,
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, it was something that obviously at the time when all these things were fresh, it wouldn't have been a badge of honor. It definitely was something I carried and identified with very strongly. But throughout the course of this work and the time that I've had, it's really become like, yeah, here it is. Like, this is my story. This is what I've been through. And yeah, using it to kind of help others. And I think that in order to really connect with people, sometimes we need to share those deep, dark secrets that otherwise we keep to ourselves.
yes, so much so. Trying to put
Mhm.
in the look perfect, and especially as coaches too, like, yeah, we had our trauma, but I'm trying to look good for you now. So I love that you just put it out there. So let's dive
Mhm.
into your story, your journey a little bit. You know, I mean, we kind of know a little bit, but a little bit deeper into where you've been and how you got here.
Yeah, yeah. So, I was always someone who craved like that deeper purpose and meaning even as a kid, and was really desperately looking for a way to make a difference. And growing up, I remember not really knowing what that would look like or what it would turn out to be. And what's interesting is that it was through my biggest trauma and the biggest pain that really helped me show, like, this is the path, right? This is kind of where you're meant to go with this. And so losing my brother was the first big thing, and definitely sent me looking for a lot of answers and connecting spiritually. And that would have been the start of kind of my spiritual awakening, I guess. And
How old were you when you lost your brother?
I was 18 and he was
Mm.
21.
Wow. Oh, and he was your older
Mhm.
brother too. Well, either way, it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
hard. You're like just coming out of adolescence and probably connect
Yeah.
even more than you ever have before, right? And
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have a brother. So
exactly.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
know what that stage was like for us. So yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. It was really, really hard time. And like you said, you for me it almost really because it does make you feel so small. And any time where we have something happen where we don't have any control, it really takes your power away and makes you feel small. And I know for a while, even I just felt like I was a child again. Like I
Mm, mm,
had that really small energy and not feeling like I was capable of anything almost in that place.
mm,
So yeah, that was like a big starting point. And then it was a couple years after that I was sexually assaulted
mm.
at my university. And then like soon after that I had this really bad car accident driving across Canada one winter. So I just kind of I felt like I'd start to make a little bit of progress
Mm.
forward and start to find a little bit of healing and answers. And then all of a sudden it was like, bang, like here's
We're
something
not done with
else.
you yet. We've got more work to do.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
So it kind of just became like, well, I mean, what are my options here? And at one point it just that's kind of what it felt like. I didn't want to carry the heaviness and carry all of it as like the weight. And it was like I need to find a way through and turn this into something more beautiful or more positive, and that's kind of the route that I took.
Yeah. Well, I love that you took that route and now you get to inspire others with your message and share your journey. And it's just, it really is so inspiring to see someone go through that, to keep getting hit like that. And I think it would be so easy to continue playing small, and just
Mhm.
be in that place. So what was it that had you like shift out of that? How did you get the energy to really know that there's more than just these traumatic experiences?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think there were a couple things. After losing Derek, it really I started to look into spirituality, and I really started to believe in, this bigger purpose, this bigger meaning. I believed in reincarnation, and like, we're here to learn these lessons, and
Mhm.
sometimes those lessons are really, really hard. And for me, I think what kind of helped was that I realized, okay, if I can learn this lesson in this lifetime, then hopefully it means if or when I do come back, maybe that's not going to have to happen again. Whereas if I don't learn it and I just continue to struggle and stay in this space, like I'll be suffering now and then I'll have to learn it again later and go through it again.
That helps.
So,
That's funny. I love that.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
do if you
like
can, I'm gonna figure it out now.
yeah, that was like my biggest motivation. I just felt like if I don't figure it out, like it's going to be here again and again, and so I really, even with the sexual assault, then I started to look into patterns
Mm,
and how these things, they do show up in our life until we kind of rise above, shift out, and figure out a new way to see ourselves and to show up in the world. So, yeah, that was the biggie for me.
yeah. Well, I'm also curious about your travels because then you decided to take to the road for 9 years and get to know yourself deeper. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't, like, just travel is something I've always loved anyway, so you always learn so much and experience so much, and, um, I basically, I did my first solo trip the Christmas after my brother had passed away, so,
Mm.
I just wanted to be on my own, go do something, be somewhere else, so I went to Guatemala and worked with animals for a while over the holidays, and, that really sparked it for me and helped me see, like, I can do this, and this is something that brings me passion and joy. And then after that, I ended up booking a one-way ticket to Sri Lanka, and I was there for a while. I worked with elephants for a while, and
Oh,
then went to, like, the Philippines, Bali, Australia, India. I did a lot over in that side of the world and really just kept looking for answers and healing, and a lot of that did come from spirituality and different kind of like mindset work and energy healing. So it was it was powerful to say the least.
yeah, I can imagine when you take ourselves out of our own environment and shift into another environment. It is so, so powerful. It's a big message that I like to talk about with people because we just think our environment is just our environment. We don't really realize how it can really pull on us and bring us down and
Mhm.
keep us in the same patterns that we've been in our whole lives. So that's
Yeah.
huge
Yeah,
to be able to step
definitely.
out of it and experience other people's lives, something totally different than anything you
Yeah.
experienced. Yeah.
Yeah, and it also helps you see that, like, how tied you are to your story, and that was one thing I loved about the travel, is that I'd meet new people who didn't know anything about what I had been through, so I almost felt like I had the opportunity to just show up as who I was right then in that moment, like
Mm,
Kara, who's traveling and excited about these things, whereas when I was back home in my environment here, I always kind of had that identity of like, "Oh, she's the girl who's been through this, this, this." So, it's like that fresh start where
yes.
you get to meet people at a new level versus meeting them where you were at before.
Yeah. Well, I wonder what advice you would give to somebody that's in trauma right now. So maybe they have had a recent event of trauma. What would you share with them?
I think I would just say, like, don't carry it on your own, and
Hmm.
don't keep it to yourself, because a lot of times that is what we do, right? And we either bottle it up, or we're afraid to share, afraid to be vulnerable. And I think if you just find one person who you trust, who you know it would be safe to share with, even just getting that release off your chest, and to have that kind of support is like one of the biggest steps, right? And then from there, it opens the door, which I think we're afraid to open the door, so we try to just block it and keep it there, but it's going to keep affecting you and causing more of those patterns. So we want to, as hard as it is, we want to like bring that out into the surface so we can heal and release it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. It's so true that when we just share with one, it helps us to share with others, and to continually share our story helps dissipate the pull that it really has on us. I mean, of course, there's much deeper work in there as well,
Hmm.
but I love the one step of just sharing it. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
Today we're going to
definitely.
work through an exercise with you, a little we do our workshop, and we're going to kind of dig into some of that and beliefs and talk about all those things. So I will let you have the floor, and
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so um some people might be at this point and being like intimidated, because we have just talked about some heavy trauma. So it doesn't have to be super super deep, super heavy. If that's overwhelming, you have the power in your hands right now with how you do this exercise and how deep you want to go. So I just want to say that first, because yeah, we don't
Yeah.
want don't want you to feel intimidated.
We did go really deep with trauma, and then it's like, okay, now we're going to do an exercise. Like, oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
prefacing that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It could be
Um,
anything. Although we probably all have like the big trauma of the COVID right now, and a lot of people are
mhm.
inside hanging out and want to travel.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So what I will get you to do, we're gonna do kind of two separate little journal exercises here. So the first one would be get a pen and paper, and I want you to write on the top. Obviously you will insert your own name here, but to the, or like, goodbye to the old name. So mine, obviously, goodbye to the old Kara, who dot dot dot. And so the point of this exercise is to kind of go through, this could be trauma, or this could be patterns, this could be beliefs, anything that you feel is maybe limiting you right now and showing up in your life. For example, when I've done it, it would say like, goodbye to the old Kara who was afraid to speak up for herself, um, was anxious about meeting new people, or was carrying the weight of the world. It can be things like that, or it could be goodbye to the old self who was really weighed down by this traumatic experience, or still carrying these things, right? So you can get as deep or stay as shallow as you want with it. Um, and this might bring about some emotions. I know for me it does, because you start to see and become aware of all of the different things that you're still carrying, and all of the heaviness that you have, and even some of the patterns that maybe aren't serving you, but you haven't realized how much they're impacting you. So that's kind of part one. And this is so powerful, because like, what I really believe and what I've learned from like a lot of mindfulness training is that awareness is the first step. And if we don't become aware of these things, we just think that's who I am, and this is what I do, or this is how I live. but we have the power to change our story. We have the power to change our beliefs and to shift our identity. But you have to become aware of what's not serving you first in order to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you can do is kind of journal through that, clear out some of the things you want to let go of, some of the patterns that aren't serving you. And then there are kind of a few different options that you can use after you've done that, that also help with some releasing. And some of it might sound a little bit crazy, some of it might sound like normal. It's depends what your experiences are. Um, but what I like to do when I do this exercise is I've written out my list. I will read it and I'll say like goodbye to the Kara who, and I'll go through these things, and maybe I do cry. Maybe it brings up some memories of things that really caused pain or heartache, and I go through that, and then I like to either do kind of like an energy cleanse where, we take our hands and it's like you're grading, like you're clearing out any of this energy and just pulling it down all the way down to your toes and like throwing it away. Like, I'm sending this out. It's gone. There's no more room for this.
Yeah,
Um
great.
yeah, it's like it's just so nice to do that and clear that space. And sometimes I like have a dance, or like I kind of just like shake and imagine myself shaking it all off, visualizing it going away, clearing out. And another thing you could always do, if this is super emotional for you, then maybe you want to like rip that paper up at the end, or like do a little ceremonial burn and clear that out, and send that old self and all of those old struggles away.
Yeah. Well, I love how you are bringing in the body with the releasing and the shaking and the maybe dance a little with it, because, and especially all your work that you've done with animals, because how
Mm.
animals, when they have trauma, is they shake it off. They get it out of their body and out of their energy. And we don't really think to do that, but
Yeah,
yeah, so I
yeah.
think that's beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. I always found that fascinating about animals too, because they do, like, they have their moment of fight or flight, or their panic or trauma, and then like you see them twitch or shake, and then they're like, okay.
Yeah.
They just go on with life. And then we're meanwhile, like, we have so many things that we're just like holding on to so tightly.
Yes. Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful exercise. And I would say, I think you're going to take us through meditation too. So if people want to pause the video, they can go ahead and write that out and do a shake and do a little dance and, get that out of
Mm.
your energy and then come back to, unless you have another exercise or however you're.
No, that's actually perfect. I should have said that. They
No,
can
that's okay.
pause and like, yeah, pause, take some time, sit with it, journal it out, and then we will do I'm gonna actually do the second journal first and then the meditation at the
Mhm.
end. But you can pause it, work through that, and then come back when you're ready. And so then the next step would be on another piece of paper. It's hello to the new self, or hello to the new Kara, or put your name in there, who dot dot dot. So we basically started by getting clear on who we don't want to be, the patterns we don't want to carry, the beliefs, the trauma, all of those things, bringing the awareness and clearing them out, letting go of some of these things, right? And then now we're welcoming in, who is it that you really want to be? And how do you want to show up? And, what would life look like for you? What would all of these things be in your life? So, again, it can be very tangible. Hello to the new self who is doing this as a job, or like has this kind of partner or this kind of lifestyle. Or it could be more related to emotional things, like who feels confident to speak up. And I like to sometimes use the first one and create that opposite belief. So the old self for me who was anxious about meeting new people or speaking up, it's like hello to the new self who feels confident and strong in her voice, like who knows that her voice matters, and kind of create that opposite effect so that we start to call in that new identity for ourselves. So you can journal on that and get as specific as you'd like, get as in depth as you'd like. Um, Really being creative here because this is your life we're talking about, and this is your identity, this is your impact. So you get to decide how you want to show up and what kind of traits or characteristics you want to embody.
Mm.
And you can pause here as well to take some time and really get clear on that.
I love that. That's awesome. Just then we're bringing in this new energy that we really want to create. So you've had a chance to do the releasing, and now it's what's next, right? We have this space, this clearing, this opening, and what do we really want to fill it up with? Cool.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I find this, anytime I do this, I find it so powerful because um, if we don't do the releasing, we don't have the space, right? We can only kind of hold on to a little bit of the new positive stuff. But by doing this kind of deep release, shaking, clearing out all of that stuff, you really, I know for myself, I know for any of my clients, like they always feel, you feel lighter after you do that because you are clearing out a lot of different baggage, whether you realized you had it or not. So then you have this new sense of um, openness or connection to really step into a new self.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's perfect. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. So, um, once you have your hello to the new self and you have this exercise, this is something I would love to, if you feel comfortable enough, I'd love to have you share that as your homework in the Facebook group too, to show who you're calling in. I know it might be very vulnerable to share the goodbye side, so you don't need to do that if that's too much. But even just share a small picture or one or two of the things that you wrote down that you want to call in for your new self, because I think we can all be inspired by what everyone has for their vision and who they want to become. So that can be shared in the Facebook group. And then again, now that you've got this really positive side written down, like this is something that I would recommend reading every day. You read it in the morning, read it before bed, really feeling into, okay, this is who I want to be, and this is how I want to start acting and the things I want to be free from, and helps you continue to kind of build strength in that identity, because the releasing from the goodbye page is going to be powerful, definitely, but it's also a lot of things that might be ingrained in your subconscious. They might be really deeply rooted patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you remind yourself of the positives and the things you're trying to shift towards, the stronger those will start to become and the easier they'll become for you every day. So once you have that hello, um, read it, feel excited. You can put on pump up music, add in anything extra that you love doing so that you really get into that good energy
Mm.
and that higher vibration when you're doing it. And then what I'll do here is just do a quick meditation to kind of help work through what we've done as well and kind of solidify the clarity that I hope you've gotten from this journal practice.
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, so just make sure that everyone does their journal before they dive into the meditation with it.
Yeah, exactly. So if you haven't finished the journal, make sure you pause it and do that now, and then you can come back and do the meditation after. And once you're ready for the meditation, you can just sit up nice and tall, make sure your spine is straight, and you can close your eyes. And maybe lift your shoulders up and then just let them drop and relax down and settle. And as you sit here, taking a few deep breaths, really connecting in where you are, connecting into your body, feeling the breath come in, filling up your chest and your stomach, and then exhaling out. You can do a nice exhale out the mouth. Just letting it go, relaxing. And now, as you inhale, I want you to imagine a white light coming in with every breath, down your throat, down your chest, into your stomach, filling you up. And as you exhale, imagine a black smoke leaving out through your mouth. And continuing with each inhale and exhale. So you're starting to fill your body up with this nice white light, cleansing, maybe even rippling down through your arms, through your legs, filling your whole body with the white light. And with every exhale, it's like it's pressing out, that white light is pressing out any of the negativity, any of the stress, any of the tension, and it's exhaling out through your mouth, black smoke, leaving your body, leaving your energy field. Continuing to feel yourself release, continuing to feel yourself cleanse and heal. And knowing that with every exhale, all of these things from your past, all of these old beliefs, all of these traumas or limitations or patterns, they're exhaling, they're leaving you, they're floating off into the air, into space, and they're no longer attached to who you are. So these are no longer something for you to carry. It doesn't have to be something that continues to impact you or affect you. It's clearing and releasing with every breath. And maybe you start to see that the black smoke is getting a little bit lighter. It's turning a little bit more gray as you continue to bring in this bright white light, and as it continues to release, there's less and less in there for you. The tension, the negativity, any of the toxic energy, it's leaving, it's going away till you're filled with nothing but this white light. And taking a few deep breaths just to feel what that's like. Pure, loving energy, filling every cell, every part of your body. How light you feel, how connected you feel, how powerful you feel. And from this space, I invite you to start to imagine some of the characteristics of your new self. Some of the things you journaled on that you're calling in, that you're ready to embody and ready to step into. Envisioning what you would look like as this version of yourself. How happy are they? What kind of things are they doing each day? Who are they surrounded by? How do they feel? Really getting this beautiful, beautiful image together for your new self, for your new identity. Feeling the relief, feeling the clarity around who you are and who you're choosing to be in this moment. And feeling the excitement about all of the things that are now possible Now that you're free from the past and free from that negativity, what's possible for you? Really feeling into this space, seeing yourself doing all the things you always desired, and holding on to this almost like it's a mental snapshot, a picture that you get to carry with you throughout every day. You can come back to anytime you need to remind you who you are, how powerful you are, and what you're here to do on this planet. So just taking a couple more deep breaths here, really breathing into this, feeling your heart fill up, expand with excitement and joy, and this beautiful vision that you have for yourself. And when you're ready, you can slowly start to bring your awareness back into your body, maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes, and slowly blinking your eyes back open. And knowing that this vision, whatever came through for you, this is something you can carry with you every day. Again, you can take 2 minutes, you can take 30 seconds, 10 seconds even, just bring that mental picture back of what you dream of, what you desire, and tune into that energy to help you stay aligned and moving forward anytime you need.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I love the imagery of the white smoke and the black smoke, like bringing that in and letting it go. That was cool. Yeah. I
Yeah,
was
that's one
dancing
of
on
my
the
favorites.
ocean. I've been thinking about the ocean a lot.
Oh,
I'm landlocked here in Minnesota, so I'm like,
yeah. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. And so you can also, if any of you would like to, when you share your journal prompts in the group, or you can always share just like what you envision for yourself in the meditation too, and kind of share that with us as well. I'd love to hear what you thought. So,
Yeah, yeah, me too. I'd love to see that in the Facebook group. That's great. You know what? I
mhm.
was going to ask you during our just kind of before, which I didn't ask. It maybe would have been a little bit better segue into the exercise, but I was like excited to get into that. I always get excited for that part. Like, let's just do it. Let's just do
Yeah.
it. But I'm curious, what had you decide to share your wisdom and journey and become a coach and to do this work that you're doing?
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I really saw how powerful it was in my own life and how much I was impacted, obviously. And every piece of the puzzle really helped. So whether it was like the meditation, teacher training, and then getting into Reiki and energy work and mindfulness, subconscious work, all of those things, like I just felt as I continued to expand my knowledge and see my own growth and the shifts that were possible, I just kind of felt like that was my duty or that was my purpose, because I have always had that dream of helping as many people as I could, and it was like, well, this is the way, right? This is what this can do for other people too, and it's almost selfish if I just keep it to myself and not share it. So it really helped me be like, this is something that I would love to be able to share with others and I know would help so many people. And it just kind of naturally progressed into that whole starting a business and becoming a coach and doing this.
Yeah, that's great. And you do have a couple special offers for people as well.
Yeah, yeah, I do. So there is a link. I'm guessing it will be below the video
Mhm.
somewhere. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So
It'll be in the
there's
email that they got today, and then it'll also be in there in below this video. Yeah.
okay, okay, cool.
Mhm.
So there's a link for a 5-day challenge. It's called the Release to Thrive Challenge. So if you really enjoyed this process today, it's a little bit more in depth, spread out over 5 days to help you clear out, let go of those limitations, and align with who it is you truly want to be and step into that place. So that's there. And then there's also a free mindset training for you guys. So
Mm.
if you feel like it's more the limiting beliefs, the old story and the mindset that's keeping you stuck, then that training would be a great place to start and get some tools in order to reprogram your mind for positive things and for success.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. And they're both free offers. So take Kara up on both of those if you can.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Really generous
Yeah,
offer.
yeah, thank you. I'm so excited. They both really supplement each other nicely too. The 5-day challenge has meditations each day and some journaling, so it's
Mm.
similar, like very interactive, whereas the mindset training's more just like you're like learning and becoming
Mm.
aware of new things. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Where are you now? Where do you live now after all your travels?
Yeah, so I was in Australia and Bali and kind of back and forth between the 2 for the winter,
Mhm.
and because of the whole virus and everything, I came back to Canada, so I'm back in Winnipeg, for now. So, I'm, like, just itching to be somewhere else, and I love it here, and I make the best of any situation, but I'm definitely excited to be, um I'm like a tropical beach bum, so I need to be back by the ocean too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Where are you going to go back to? Where's your place?
I think probably Australia.
Yeah,
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 good.
yeah. We'll see though. I mean, who knows?
Anything could change in the next couple of months.
Yeah, yeah,
Where in
exactly.
Australia do you like to go?
I really love like Byron Bay is a really nice like hippie community, so I definitely love the relaxed vibes kind of along there. But I've also always wanted to get to Western Australia,
Mhm.
which I've just heard amazing things about. And Australia in general is very low key, and so it is. It's like that a nice relaxed lifestyle, even though everyone's still working, but there's just that beach mentality, I think. So it's
Yeah,
nice.
that's nice. Good.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you get back there soon. And me too.
Yeah,
All of us
yeah.
get to the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much, Kara. This has been amazing. I love your workshop, and I'm definitely going to work through that tonight when I have a chance to go through it. And I'm excited to see what everyone posts in the Facebook group. And thank you so much for your wisdom and sharing it with us and your journey today.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for having me, and it's an honor to be a part of this, and really excited to see, yeah, see what everyone has to share too, and what kind of shifts they've noticed.
Yeah, that's the
So,
best.
yeah.
You have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
day. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, you too.